South America, where some of the world's elite pilots competed at the final stop of the Paragliding World Cup Super Final in Colombia. After 3 events across Europe, in France, Serbia and Switzerland, the tour moved to Latin America, taking in Brazil, Ecuador and finally here to Colombia for the final stage of the Super Final.
The World Cup is a sport association that is now existing for 25 years. So we are governing the competition paragliding worldwide. We are running the circuit, which is based on 5 competitions per year all around the world, selecting 125 pilots per event by individual selection, pilot by pilot. They're handpicked, only the best ones. And then at the end of each season, we have a super final, like this event now here, which is the end of the season where we are choosing the winner and the yearly winner of the World Cup.
The 2 strongest teams in the world come from Switzerland and Germany and are back once again to compete at this spectacular event.
Here you have quite a nice team, quite young. We have Andreas, is really young and is flying quite well. It means it's nice to have young pilots in the team. And then sure, we have Yael Margelish, she's also flying well this year. Michael Siegel is flying quite good. Me also, I have some good results. And Dominic Brighting is flying quite well. He flew nice in Disentis in Switzerland. He made 2nd there, and then also in Ecuador he made 5th place, I think. Means I think we have a good team. We are quite strong. Yeah.
We have Pepe, Joachim, Peter, and Heinrich. So we are quite a strong team. In the nation ranking, we are on place 2. It will be hard to beat the French because they are here something with 30 pilots. But all in all, we are doing pretty well. Yeah.
In this sport, to be competitive, the pilots need a clear plan and strategy. Let's see how the best pilots prepare for their daily tasks.
This paragliding racing is a mixture of bike racing and sailing sport. Sailing means you have a set course, and biking means you stay in the gaggle. So the strategy here is to use the other pilots. We are 130 pilots in the air. To use the others to show you thermals and get together with them close to goal and make one good move in the end, so sprint to goal. That's similarity to the biking sport. That's the best strategy. For sure you can try to do the whole race on your own, but most likely you will get grounded before the goal. The paragliding sport completely relies on GPS track logs. So we have a virtual task in our instruments showing us cylinders. And to make a turn point, we just have to enter each cylinder just for 1 second, and then you can move on to the next one.
Paragliding is an extreme sport, so safety comes first. Here are the basic safety regulations from a pro Swiss pilot.
There is some obvious things like airspaces, that we cannot fly close to an airport. There are some zones, there is a map with all of the zones. There is also a top ceiling that we should not go above because it's also then regulated by the airspaces. And otherwise there is cloud flying, which is forbidden, but sometimes we don't want and we end up in a cloud. Yeah, in competition and in acro also we have two reserves because you never know how you end up in which configuration, and maybe you cannot pull one and you can pull the other with the other hand. It's quite good safety, like passive safety, but the most important thing about safety is being able to pilot the glider. So doing security courses and SIV, it's incident simulation, and then as soon as you can get your glider in bad configuration and make it fly again, it's pretty good. You're already on a good way.
One of the most prominent pilots here in Colombia is Jin Song, who is behind one of the biggest glider manufacturers in paragliding, Jin Gliders, who are also one of the partners of the Super Final.
PWC, yeah, I mean, I've been involved from the beginning of PWC settings, and I was also supporting as a sponsors and as a pilot since beginning of World Cup. I want more manufacturers joining in these World Cups, and it's coming now with a new. Looks like we are changing some rules, and if in that case, if more brands joining the World Cup, then I think it will boost more.
Years ago, paragliding was a new technology in flying. Back then, climbers in the Alps started using paragliding to fly from the summits back to base. Legendary pilot Andreas Malecki explains more about the development of the sport.
History of paragliding started 30 years before, maybe a little bit more, in French. And in the beginning it was more like parachuting, and it was flying from the top to the bottom. And in a short time the paragliders improved really good, and we have a nice glide angle and can fly 100 kilometers and more.
The Paragliding World Championships gives us the opportunity to learn how much the sport is part of these professional flyers' lives. Let's meet leading flyer Torsten Siegel.
'89. So this is a long time ago. Together with my brother, we started to make the courses. It was in '94. It was a junior challenge. It was a German competition, and then it was Hessenmeisterschaft. And 1 year later, I started at a German league, and '96 the first World Cup. In the free time I for sure sports. I think also when you're getting older, quite important to stay fit. So I do some street biking, a little bit boxing, fitness, running, all these things to stay fit. I have two beautiful children, a beautiful wife, so I try to spend some time with them also. They are 3 and 5 years old. In enjoy. It's the most thing in life. I think life is getting quite complicated. We're sitting a lot of in front of the computers and everything. And with this kind of sport, we can be outside, we can be flying, and it's something. Just enjoy yourself. It's the most important thing. Life is short, and just be happy and love the things you are doing.
It's now time for the races. With 8 tasks in 9 flying days, the weather was ideal for this event. Each day before the task, the atmosphere in the takeoff area was buzzing with the high level of competition in Rol de Nil. The athletes prepared their gliders early in the morning, and after the start, the unique flying battles above the spectacular Colombian landscape was something to behold. The close flying between the pilots and extreme turns inside the gaggle makes this sport unique. Let's have a look now at the current standings. For the final task, after a perfect start, weather conditions deteriorated with a thick layer of high-altitude cloud, slowing the race down, with the lead gaggle eventually grounded. Only 6 pilots managed to stay airborne, with Michael Siegel winning the task and the championship.
I won, and I'm really happy for this because I tried so many years, and I was lucky sometimes unlucky, and I missed just by a few points or meters, and now I did it, yeah.